Let's get into it. Coach Colin here. Candace, I don't know why people would even. I said years ago. I remember somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, would you ever like?" I don't know what I was talking about because I agree with most things she says. Would you debate Candace? And I'm like, no, never, never, not over anything. No, I would never step into the octagon with Candace. That's crazy talk. I don't know why so many people decide to call her out on things that she can easily prove. If she was like the sky's pink, I'd be like, man, all right, I guess. I'm not looking for Candace to breathe fire upon me. I'm not looking for that. That's crazy. But some people are looking for that. And they said that those messages that she sent out into the world with Charlie Kirk and her pretty much talking down Ben and really seeming like they had a strong relationship, and both of them did not like Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro did not like them. I mean, straight up. And man, oh man, did people go to town on that whole thing. One person's like, oh, breaking, Candace Owens ripped apart after posting 2018 iMessages from the late Charlie Kirk accusing Ben Shapiro of scheming to kill their conservative rise, which is 100% true. He did this to Nick. Nick talked about this when he was talking with Tucker. He actually did the exact same thing. Kirk actually calling out the fact that he thought she was like a slave to Charlie. Political stunt exploded in her face as Frank McCormick, because that's who this is. This right here. That's Frank McCormick. I can't wait to show you what he had to say. Exposed everything. So basically this guy was like, oh, they're fake, and I asked ChatGPT and it told me. Buddy, this is ChatGPT delusion, what this guy went through. Somebody else was like, I don't think any level of forensic analyst to see that these texts are faker than Candace's marriage. Oh man, people were going off as soon as these text messages dropped. I'm telling you, I didn't doubt it for a second. I've already connected the dots. I shared that video with you guys. Whoever have been sharing it, thank you so much. It's at 300,000 views. Okay, but seriously, can we pressure Candace to answer why iPhone would smudge and add lines to the 4? I mean, these people were turning into straight, like, get these people tinfoil Speedos. They're zooming in on 4s. They're zooming in on 4s, guys, okay? They're zooming in on noses. Listen, from one tinfoil Speedo to another. Bravo. Hey, listen. Sometimes you got to zoom in on a 4 and you just got to question things late night at 2 a.m. I get it. Sometimes you got to zoom in on a nose. I was zooming in on earlobes back in the other administration. I know what it's like, man. I know what it's like. Black preacher, the worst. Candace Owens humiliated after fake 2018 iMessages allege the late Charlie Kirk claiming Ben Shapiro plotted to destroy their career. Oh man, it's always. Listen, I already talked about it if you're a part of the Patreon family, you know what I think about. Listen, I'm not racist. I am black, but those preachers, let me tell you something about them. Candace Owens said on her show a couple of weeks ago, I don't like to share text messages. It's just not my thing, but it's literally her thing. Oh, you got that right, because Candace Owens did it again, came through with the receipts. Let's jump right into it right now. Not even just the receipts, with the phone. I mean, and then we're going to hear the reaction from everybody as she actually shows that these are real messages. But listen to this.
For these compounding lies, okay? Obviously, last week, we watched Ben press Megan on stage. Very strange to see him do something like that, to see him just lie and try to pressure her with the lie. And it was also on the day that it was announced that this podcast was #1 globally. I responded on my show with the truth, showed you screenshots of what Charlie had said, told you honestly that he had kind of prevented Charlie from coming up. And that was certainly how Charlie felt. And then some guy on named Frank McCormick on X started circulating. And then, of course, it instantly made a trend that I forged the text messages, that I just made them up. And I was just going to be so risky and throw these text messages up and just lie as if I wasn't going to get debunked quickly. Anyways, this is what he wrote on there. Candace Owens recently posted what she claims are more text messages from Charlie Kirk. He asked ChatGPT to analyze. Look at this next one. If you want to skip over to the next, he analyzed the bubble design, the profile placement, the header layout, font, spacing, color, balance, and he discovered that these were digitally fabricated. Bro, you didn't have to do any of that. You could just ask me to show you the messages. I show messages on this show. Like, I'm happy to show you guys this live. So just to give you the receipts here. Wait, Skylar, can you tell me in my ear, what did the message even say? Because I can look it up. Just give me like a sentence.
Guys, listen. The glasses just broke. Listen, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Turn on your notifications. Please, that is all I ask of you guys. There's so many of you that are not subscribed. Please subscribe, especially because, you know, eventually they're going to catch on to this Philadelphia stuff. They're going to catch on eventually. They're going to figure out what I'm actually saying. Need your help before that happens, okay? All right? Subscribe. I'm out of here.
That's not populating. It was because the way that it's spaced. Can you give me the sentence after that?
Every person is praying that the message doesn't pop. Every person talking smack is praying that nothing comes up right now.
There we go. That will work. We just have to treat him like noise. Are there typos in that? Here we go. I found it. There we go. A little bit of typos. There we go. Okay, here we go, guys. Just to show you this, just looked it up on my phone. These are not made up text messages. You probably want to see the date here and see the time sliding. Hold on. We did not make up these messages. Okay. Iron sharpens iron. It's not a dominance partnership. Each hand washes the other. It is what Christ talked about as true partnership, reliant yet separate. None other dominant. Of course, there is struggle, disagreement, but each side gets stronger and sharper because of the other. This is how us describing our partnership. These are just real. Like, what an absolute nonsense to think that I would make up text messages. Like, it's just such a nonsense. I don't even know what would be the point of that. What would be the point of that? Okay. I was very clear at the beginning of this entire thing, no fakeness and no gayness. You know, I asked that if you didn't get along with Charlie, you don't think that you could just drop $1 million and then rewrite history, okay? You might have money, we have truth. That's what's on our side. Also, to build upon that, I saw a clip of Alli Stuckey, who I very much like. I've been clear about that. I very much like Alli Stuckey. I'm very surprised she's working with Alyssa Cordova, but she's also in very rare form. I don't know what's driving that. And she kind of...
This Alli Stuckey lady, we'll talk about her in a second, but... I mean, Candace comes through with the messages. She shows them on a phone. Of course. What do you think everybody did? Do you think everybody said we were wrong? Do you think everybody said, all hail Candace? We were wrong. Can't believe we even questioned you. A second time. Mind you, this is a second time. You would just think by now, and this is how you know this is a coordinated effort, because you would just think like, okay, text messages, whatever. If they're text messages, let's not question it anymore because she's obviously going to come through with receipts. This is what happened last time. We looked dumb. Let's not do this again. She comes through with messages again, and you all start screaming about how they're fake. That shows that there's a coordinated thing, which means that no matter what she does, what it is, what she says, they're going to come after her. It's not going to stop. You know what I mean? It's like the difference between getting in a fight at a bar and someone hiring a hitman to come after you. To get into a fight at a bar, you can apologize, you can run back, you can get to your car. A hitman, they're going to show up at your house, they're going to show up at your work, they're coming to get you. That's exactly what's happened here. Somebody hired some kind of verbal hit person to come after Candace on it, like obviously. Now, just to say quickly again, I'm just going to move on to like what these people were saying after they got caught with their pants down. You know, ChatGPT will lie to you. It does. It does that a lot. I don't know how long you've been watching the show, but I did an episode on a guy. He was told by ChatGPT that he solved a math problem that nobody else can solve. This guy was in Canada. And ChatGPT said, this is so profound and so crazy that this might be a national security risk. And you should call every department and make sure they know about this. And he did. He did. And then after he got in trouble, of course, he went to ChatGPT and said, hey, you know, they just don't seem to understand. I don't know what's going on. You know, the math is right? Like, this is true. And ChatGPT was like, no, it's not. I was just going along with what you were saying. That's what it does. That's what it does. You think it's going to flip our world upside down and it's honest? Like, come on. Don't get me started on AI, man. Don't get me started on it. It's good. It's kind of good, but it's kind of not. Anyway, this is what happened. Some people started saying stuff like this, supporters and whatnot. Why do people keep embarrassing themselves? By now, they should know Candace always brings receipts to substantiate her claims. Another person's like, really doesn't seem to work out for anyone calling Candace a liar, 100%. And then Candace herself was like, time for them to move the goalposts. Again, they might be real, but... And guess what? That's exactly what happened. Candace was right again. The first thing this guy says, this Frank McCormick who accused her, the real question is, why has Candace held on to 8-year-old texts from Charlie? And then he just posts this picture like as if she's crazy. Why on earth does this girl have text messages from one of her best friends that she loved so much that's dead now? Seems a little clingy. Stage 5 clinger. Am I right, guys? What? Are you crazy? Amazing that this started happening. Then another thing this guy came out and said, he said, in my response, blah, 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 Candace replied, he says, look, I'm a reasonable man, but there's one small detail I can't ignore. She didn't actually show the dates. Don't be mad. I'm just asking questions. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, you're so hurt. You're so hurt. Listen. I get hurt too. I love Hollow Earth theory. And then someone tells me it's not real. Someone tells me there's not actually water deep inside the earth. And it's actually something called dark water. And it's actually in stone. I get upset. I get upset. I know how it is, man. We've all been there. We've all been there. Don't worry about it, man. You're new to the game. You know, it's hard. Another person comes out. Something the Standises don't realize is that it's actually very easy for anyone to send messages back and forth with someone. Even your other phone, if you have one, change the name and the image of the contact and show them like they're real. Okay? It's actually really easy to do that. You're a conspiracy theorist now. Welcome. Take a seat. We're going to discuss earlobes on Biden. We're going to discuss all sorts of things. We're going to discuss robots walking among us. We're going to talk about Agenda 2030. Hey, don't even worry about it. Sit down with us. We're going to have a great time. We have so much to fill you in on. Oh, you're new to the game. You're new to the tinfoil game. It's all good. We'll get you there. We'll get you caught up. You ever heard of Bigfoot? Well, we'll talk about Bigfoot. Interdimensional. Did you know that? Do you know that about Bigfoot? He's interdimensional. We're going to bring you up to speed. Don't even worry about it, okay? All right? The real question is not why Candace has the text. The real question is, why are all these people all at once attacking her? That's the real question. And anytime I see that, I always have to think about it, because you know what it reminds me of? Oh, I hope I can find this. I didn't even think about this. News outlets all saying the same thing. Oh, I hope I can find this just right off the bat. Oh, I hope I find this video. If I said that and you know what I'm talking about, then you already know what. Oh, is this it? Oh, beautiful. This is what it reminds me of when people do this type of things. Like, this is what my feed is filled with in regards to people talking about Candace and Tucker. This is exactly what it's like.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about the prevalent trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories played in our country.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories that simply aren't true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Yup. That's exactly what I think of. That's the real question. Why is that thing that was happening in the mainstream now happening in the independent world on X? That's the real question. And also what goes along with that question is who's doing that and why are they doing that? That's the real question, guys. I mean, we could get to this Alli Stuckey lady that Candace is talking about if you want. I mean, my take on this lady, I mean, I'll play what Candace is talking about here. I'll play this really quick, just to switch gears. Not even really, it's the same thing.
I guess, I don't know when this live was taken, presumably over the last week. I just saw it circulating. Said to people that we shouldn't be asking these questions about the Charlie Kirk assassination. Anyways, I'm not going to put words in her mouth. Listen to Alli Stuckey.
I'm just really tired of some of y'all not thinking. I really am. You say that you're seeking truth and asking questions, but you're actually just outsourcing your critical thinking and your question asking to someone else, and you're never really asking questions. You're never saying, does that make sense? Or what could be the other side of that story? Or what is the alternative explanation for that? Or are these two things actually connected by evidence? Or does it just sound compelling? This is not a Netflix series. It's not an Agatha Christie novel. You're not watching a whodunit movie. These are people's real lives. And if you are implicating a real person in a murder plot, you better be 100% sure that it is true and backed by hard evidence. Think. Turn on your brain. The thoughts we think.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing with this lady. And maybe you've heard of her, maybe you haven't. She's basically just another conservative voice out there, right? When people talk like this, she's on a live stream, which means that she's talking to people who love her enough to follow her, to turn on their notifications, and to actually sit and listen to her in a live stream. And the way she's talking to them is think, turn on your brain. I'm positive I've never spoken to an audience in that way. And when you see creators start to speak to people like that, start to speak to their own followers like that, you have to understand something's going on, because this is not regular for her. This is not regular for her. And also, no one has been talking to her. She's not really involved in this. She's acting like this is like really plaguing me so much, but she's not involved in this. She's not good friends. She's not really good friends with Andrew. She was on a text message basis with Charlie, right? You know, not really all that connected to Erica, maybe a little bit, but not really. They had the same values and stuff. They have the same values, but no one's really talking to her. She's not pulled into this. No one's really been mentioning her. Candace mentioned her once, and she said, I have nothing bad to say about her. She's actually absolutely great. She's always been great. And now this girl's just on this rant about this stuff. It really shows something when you see people doing this type of thing. Again, it's so weird that I'm doing this with influencers. And just 2 years ago, I was doing this with the mainstream media, having to break down what they're saying, what they're doing. It's really, really interesting that this is happening.
And the words we say not only affect real people's lives, but they carry weight in eternity. We are responsible for these things. I'm going to take that seriously, but you should too. Look, y'all, I don't even want... I've just been wrestling with this so much over the past few weeks. I don't want the drama. I don't have the time and energy that it takes to go through, to make all of these claims first is incredible, but then to go through and debunk all of these claims, I don't have that time. I don't have that energy. I don't have that capacity. I don't.
Look, Alli, I just think she should take a break. Like, I genuinely didn't even know she was going through it like this. Like, I don't think we asked her for any assistance at all, actually. I did all the work, and people sent me stuff, and then we put together a timeline. And here's what I want to say, because you're saying it's real life. It was Charlie's real life, Alli. That was Charlie's real life when you saw him sitting there and he got shot. That was his real life. So I feel like that's the part you're missing, because you're so worried about the surrounding cast of characters who have been literally caught lying. They lied. That's why we're here, okay? We didn't just randomly pluck people up from obscurity, okay? These are people who said, he had blood on him. He's amazing. He was so amazing, but he walked away from Charlie as he was bleeding out. His real life. That was his real life, okay? So that's what's on the line right here, is he's not here anymore. And maybe you're not worried about him, but I am. I'm actually worried, and I want to know what happened to Charlie Kirk, okay? And why I feel like you and so many Christian Zionists just kind of wanted to turn him into a ghost, like, you know, Charlie the friendly ghost, and are not interested at all. And if you're looking for real life Agatha Christie stuff, in real life, people's necks don't stop 30-06 bullets. In real life, that's all I'm saying. In real life, when you spend millions of dollars on security, on your security detail, they don't have you sitting like a sitting duck and forget to have an ambulance behind you. In real life, I worked for Turning Point USA, and I know what does not make sense in terms of the timeline of how this event came together. And in real life, if somebody suspects you in a murder for any reason whatsoever, and you can put something out publicly that will clarify a fact that isn't correct, if you say it's not correct, you would do that. You wouldn't hide. In 4 seconds, I would say, the reason why I was on the phone with so-and-so had nothing to do with anything. So people are following their instincts because they should, but I just want to remind you, because it bothers me, that was Charlie's real life, okay? That was Charlie's real life, Alli. All right, move on for that.
Man. Oh, man. Yeah, man. You're seeing a lot of people doing this. And Candace is 100% right. I'm telling you, it's weird. Even just seeing that lady make these, like, talk like this. She's talking like this to her viewers. She's telling them to turn on their brains and think. Like, why are you doing that to your own viewers? You know, it's really weird. Really weird. And it always sticks out to me, because when I see a creator talk like that to their audience, we are more their creators than they are our audience, quite honestly. But when I see that, it really stands out to me, because it's gross, but also it's because you're trying to move them in a certain way. Like, you can say what you want about Candace. I don't hear her talk like that to her audience. I've never heard her talk like that to her audience, because she doesn't have as much on the line. I mean, let's be honest. She's married to a very rich guy. She's good in regards to notoriety and clout and being known. She already has it. She doesn't have to cover Charlie Kirk. She can cover anything, and she's still good. But this lady is acting like something's on the line. She's acting like she's being pushed to do this more than anything. You know? You don't have the energy? It's midnight where I am right now. I'm going to be up until 3 a.m. I do this like every night. You know why? Because I love it. I love it, and also I want to know what happened. I think right now we're at a point where we're at our JFK. Like, this is our JFK. And if the people at that time had the technology we had, and they made sure not to let it go and just let it go into the wind as just like, oh, he's gone, that's it, then maybe there would be a different result in regards to what we know happened. Maybe they wouldn't be depending on a president how many decades later saying, okay, I'll release all the files. And then there's 25,000 files missing. I'm not waiting for that. I don't know about you. But anyways, yeah, she brought those receipts. Really brought those receipts, man. Cannot wait. And apparently there's going to be something really big happening on Wednesday. So right now is Monday. Well, it's midnight, so it's Tuesday now. And it's the 11th. So on the 12th, there's supposed to be something really big. That's what Candace said. And that's what John Mapland said, the Turning Point donator who kind of speaks his mind pretty pretty savagely, honestly. So something big's coming. I don't know what they're going to be talking about, but maybe it's linked to the money that Charlie was worried about. Maybe it's linked to more footage. I have no idea, but I'll be waiting just like you guys are. And if you miss it, I got you covered. Anyways, guys, I'm going to bring the rest of this conversation over to Patreon. As you guys know, every video that I put out here, there is always an after show that I do on Patreon where I am just giving my raw thoughts. And boy, do I have some raw thoughts on this one. I have to be very honest. Now, I'm out of here. I'll see you over there.